The fight to defend anime, video games, entertainment never stops because there's always a person or a company attacking the things that we love. There are too many people on social media who belittle others for enjoying specific movies, video games, shows, and they want to see things banned simply because they don't like them or because they don't understand them. And now eBay is making a very bold move that's definitely going to upset a lot of people because they are banning adult-only films, video games, anime, comics, books, manga, tons of different things that they deem as sexually oriented materials. Now, before we get into the video, before we get started, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video if you end up enjoying it, because YouTube is for sure going to suppress it just because of the terms that I'm using here. Follow me on social media like Twitter or Minds for updates, and if you really like the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I appreciate all of your support. So we are going to start off with this post that eBay made. It says, adult items policy. Adult items that are allowed must follow our guidelines. Most adult-only items are now prohibited. Items that contain nudity are allowed only in limited situations and must follow the guidelines below. We will review the content of the listing, images, and the category of the items to determine if an item is allowed. We don't know how they're going to do this at all. They didn't really describe it any more than that. They only just said, we will review the content. It says eBay defines nudity as showing any part of male or female genitalia, anus, or female breasts where the nipple is visible, and it says the following are also considered nudity. It goes through a couple of things. Again, breasts, nipples, male erections, even if the model is clothed, things like that, people engaging in sexual activity as well. Now it says, what is the policy? The following items are not allowed. And the first one is a no-brainer. Adult items with content that is illegal. Clearly, they're not going to be having any illegal content be sold on their platform. But then it says things like sexually oriented materials, including items that contain nudity and displays of sexual activity, are not allowed. This includes the following: adult films and video games with a rating of X, XXX, R18, or unrated for adult-only audiences, sexually explicit anime, comics, books, films, animation, manga, hentai. I mean, the list here goes on. And then it says adult magazines, nudist publications, or adult anime and manga that include sexually explicit content, nudity, or even simply sexual stories. Now, I understand why they don't want to sell things that are rated A in gaming or XXX in movies, because they're an adult rating that does have government oversight, and the platform doesn't want to regulate the content this way, but they've worded it in a way that just makes it so they can lump whatever content they want in this category and say, no, you can't sell X, Y, and Z, and they can just point to this vaguely written policy and not give any further explanation. This could also knock out things like movie posters for non-XXX movies and music covers, because those are unrated content. From everything I've seen, they had an adult category and simple rules to follow to sell all of this, content and whatnot, and now they're changing their rules and coming up with this generic, undetailed BS. And when it comes to things like anime, eBay and Amazon have been caught and called out a ton of times for removing listings of manga and also anime figures in the past. I've talked about it a few times here on the channel, and we thought that that was bad, but this is way worse because so many different things fall under the list of banned items now. A huge problem here is that they're banning whatever they deem as sexually oriented material. Anything with nudity, sexual references, all of it. Big companies are always looking for ways to censor users, ban content they don't like, and this is another case of that. Valve's done the same damn thing because they say, they only ban troll content or illegal content, yet they ban hentai games and adult-oriented games like Super Seducer, which don't fall under illegal or troll content. Sony's done the same thing as well. They force developers to censor their work on their platforms, and eBay's doing this too. They're gonna find a way to abuse this 100%. content. We can't trust these companies anymore because they do things like this. They're gonna find a way to ban more items they don't like, and this is just their first step. Games like Grand Theft Auto, The Witcher, those could all technically be banned because they have adult content, nudity, sex scenes, all of it. Now, scrolling down, it does say things like nude art listings that do not contain sexually suggestive poses or sexual acts are allowed, but they must include the item-specific attribute subject nudes, and then it says, of course, you have to put it in the art category, collectibles, paper, pinup, pre-1970 vintage, there's collectible postcards risque, and then it, of course, scrolls down and it says, effective July 15th, the adult-only category will no longer be available for new listings. This is where they shoved all this content. If you had adult-only content, all of the content that they're banning, basically, it used to fall under this category, and from what I understand, it was a category that was very well used. I mean, if you go online, lots of people had lots of questions for it, saying there was a lot of traffic in that section. But if you go to their old listing, it says the adult-only items on eBay. This is an old post, like I said. It said accessing the adult-only category was pretty simple. You had to be over 18. You had to provide eBay with a valid credit card. But more specifically, it says here are some things to know about the adult-only category. And it basically said that eBay doesn't really regulate this section. It says the sale and distribution of pornography and adult materials are regulated by various legal statuses, but not by eBay. You should exercise caution and obey all applicable laws if you buy items in this category. And then it says, like all eBay listings, listing in this category are the responsibility of the seller alone. Sellers link to graphics on their own site and are considered the sole publisher of the material they're offering, even though it appears within an eBay listing. And then, of course, it says there are certain limitations, which has completely changed now. This was older, so it probably did link to a, less intimidating and less serious adult items policy, which now they've completely changed up, and they're getting rid of this, adult-only section on eBay. They are banning all of this content. Now, even if you've never used the adult-only section on eBay, this is still very worrying, and this is something that people should take note of. I know that there are going to be some people out there who say, but it's a private company, but when you get this big, can you really continue to allow them to do everything they want? In the West, they control one of the largest publicly used sales platforms. Just like the social media companies I've talked about, can we continue to allow them to function under the same rules that protect private companies? Are they even private anymore when they control these giant public platforms? Should they get the same protections anymore? I mean, I personally don't think that they should. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. This is another strike at content that we all enjoy. And even if you don't enjoy it, this is still something that is very, very worrying. But if you enjoyed this video and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.